Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have some live breaking news. It looks as though Fani Cash Money G. Willis is up to her old tricks. She is not going away. She will not admit to any wrongdoing, to any lying. She is sticking to her guns all the way to the bottom of the sea. She is going to sink with this ship no matter what. I mean, she is literally using the ultimate playbook: denial, which all rotten people do. I mean, they can never admit to their own mistakes. So she filed this pleading, this brief with Judge McAfee. We're going to go through this right now. This is breaking news here. And she filed it on March 6th or March 5th, on Tuesday. And basically, this is her way of pleading. I mean, instead of actually fessing up, she just went to the state capitol to enter into her own to qualify for a re-election. She's got some new challengers too. You might want to stick around. Make sure you subscribe. We might actually get an interview with one of her challengers coming up soon. So stay tuned. You know I'm bringing you the best. She hasn't admitted to any wrongdoing. She said all the cell phone data is irrelevant. And now, instead of actually doing the right thing, what does she do? She says, I'm going to fight tooth and nail. I'm going down with the ship, y'all. I mean, it is absolutely preposterous. I mean, she is rotten to the core. So anyway, she filed this brief and essentially pleading with Judge McAfee that, you need to actually qualify a conflict of interest. And she's just pleading her case. So let's go through this really quickly. At the hearing on March 1st concerning defendants, so state supplemental brief following hearing on March 1st, okay, that was the closing arguments concerning standard of proof and legal standard for disqualification of an elected district attorney, okay? So this was the file here, okay? State of Georgia versus all of these defendants. You can see Trump at the top. At the hearing on March 1st, 2024, concerning defendant's motion to disqualify DA Fani Willis, the court posed several questions of the parties concerned, the standard of proof required for disqualification and legal standard to be applied by the court. The binding case law in Georgia is clear. A trial court is not authorized to disqualify an elected district attorney absent a showing by a high standard of proof that such an elected district attorney either has an actual conflict of interest or has engaged in forensic misconduct, with a footnote there. This brief will address that the standard of proof recently recognized by the Georgia Court of Appeals and the few circumstances. Let me see if I can make this. Yeah, I want this to be as big as possible here. Okay. That's better. This is live. I mean, I literally am supposed to take my beautiful son, Sammy, which he loved all your happy birthday wishes. I'm literally supposed to take him to his grandparents' house. They're doing a birthday party, but this just came up. I had to get this out. You know me. I had to. This brief will address that standard of proof recently recognized by the Georgia Court of Appeals and the few circumstances recognized under Georgia law that constitute actual conflict of interest. So she's basically saying there is no conflict of interest because it cannot be instigated or it cannot be included just based on an appearance. As a threshold matter, the elected district attorney is not merely any prosecuting. She is a constitutional officer, and there's only one such offer. I can't believe the nerve of this woman. And she brings up a case law. Under Georgia's constitution, a district attorney is constitutionally mandated to represent the state in all criminal cases in the superior court of such district attorney. Okay, yada, yada, yada. Here is what I exactly seek to do that. Those are my solemn duties, which is BS. You don't have any solemn duties. The defendant asked the court to impose a novel hair trigger standard for the disqualification of an elected district attorney. Wait. They did what? You mean the Pitbull Sadow asked the court to impose a novel, meaning unique and unlikely and uncharacteristic, hair trigger standard? That's BS. She says no such standard exists. The true legal standard set forth by our appellate courts and confirmed by statutory language is much higher and requires proof of an actual palpable conflict of interest with a substantial basis in fact. How is there not a palpable conflict of interest when you lied under oath, you hired an unqualified assistant district attorney who is your boyfriend, and you benefited financially with an inflated salary? How is that what? The standard is for high reason. Notice how the footnote says we will not examine the legal standards surrounding forensic misconduct, which was covered extensively at the hearing. This is so last-ditch effort. The public's... Okay, so the standard is high for a reason. The public's interest in seeking justice is no way served by a low standard. It wasn't a low standard. It was a high standard. You're out of your mind. To carry out essential constitutional duties, our state Supreme Court reinforced this high standard. All criminal defendants have a certain rights that must be protected by our system of justice. Inappropriate or improper disqualification of a DA elected by the people has severe consequences. Yeah, it actually does. For you, it has severe consequences. The people didn't elect a fraud. The people didn't elect a criminal who only thinks about themselves. The people didn't elect that their taxpayer funds be illegally funneled and used for your nefarious objectives, both for the people's faith and their constitutional right to be represented by DA elected by them. Oh my God, this is awful. This is just awful. For the reasons set forth below, the defendant's motions to dismiss the indictment and disqualify me, Fani Willis, should be denied. The defendants bear the burden of proving their claims by a high standard, which is necessarily... So she's basically saying that you can't just disqualify me based on an appearance. There has to be a high, or this, as she says, this nebulous, irrelevant cell phone data. I mean, she's nuts. She is a freaking criminal of the highest order who is I think she's I honestly, I'm not even kidding you. I think Fani Willis is a sociopath. I think she cannot admit. I mean, she's the kind of person, if she's cheating on you, let's just say you're her boyfriend or husband, and you walk in on her cheating on you, she's going to say, no, your eyes are deceiving you. It's like, it's insanity. She cites some cases here. Recognize the court considering based on alleged misconduct must hold those who allege to a high standard of proof. They've supplied ample proof. What more proof do you need? And the fact that you lied under oath, that's proof enough. To adopt, at the hearing in this case, the defendants urged to the court to adopt a preponderance, but under McGlynn, that cannot be corrected standard of proof. While not squarely addressed in the context of disqualification, Georgia's appellate courts have often categorized a clear and convincing showing of actual malice as a high standard of proof, which they have done conclusively with an abundance of clarity, because you're an absolute crook. So she's basically saying, you can't do this to me. You can't do this to me. I know what I'm doing. I'm going to fight tooth and nail. I didn't do anything wrong. The state maintains that they have not established an actual conflict of interest, which is wrong. Specifically holding McGlynn, the court should hold the defendants to something higher than a preponderance of the evidence standard. That's ridiculous. It's just absolutely ridiculous. The defendants asked the court to adopt a legal standard as not recognized under Georgia law, and they rely on that. That's not true. That's not true. The Pitbull used actual Georgia law. It actually states in Georgia law, preponderance of evidence standard holds, the appearance of impropriety is enough. He actually cited that. We went over that. This is like a desperate move by Fani Cash Money G. Willis. Desperate. I can't wait to hear what you guys think of this. The defendants rely on numerous cases in support of their motion that are either cited in a misleading way or inapplicable. Defendants can point to no appellate case because there is no case. Yeah, because you're the first egregious DA who has completely frauded their constituents. There shouldn't be multiple cases like this. It's kind of sad where somebody has been disqualified like this. Indeed, if such a case existed, it would undoubtedly have been brought to the court's attention. Instead, the defendants cobbled together, listen to this, the defendants cobbled together flowery, righteous quotations from inapplicable cases that may sound enticing at first, but that entirely misstate the law. This is all BS. In so doing, the defendants asked the court to adopt a novel legal standard for the disqualification of elected constitutional officer, which has never been recognized in Georgia, because you're the only absolute degradation and disease of a district attorney that this county has ever seen, maybe even the nation has ever seen. And then she goes into blah, blah, blah. I mean, that says it all right there. That really, really says it all. I mean, I'll leave a link to this in the description of this video if you want to read this entire brief. But I mean, it's like, we just got to stop right there. It's just insane. I mean, it's absolutely, it's a 17. I mean, we're only on page, what page are we on? We're only on page 7. This is absolutely insane. I mean, that's it right there. She's essentially, the remaining cases relied on by the defendants demonstrate that no disqualifying conflict of interest exists here, which is completely untrue. She's grasping at straws is what she's doing. She is essentially just grasping at straws. Why don't you do, Fani, I hope you see this, or somebody share this with somebody that you know that's close to you, because there is, even let's just say that this BS brief somehow convinces Judge McAfee, which I actually think, I have faith that given the mounting evidence, given all of the perjury, given all of the testimony that completely counter-refutes everything you said under oath, I have faith that Judge McAfee is going to do the right thing. Let's just say you win. Let's just say you don't get disqualified, you don't get disbarred. The Georgia Senate hearing is not finished. They might subpoena more. Let's just say you don't. Let's say you get off scot-free. You have instilled a complete meltdown of confidence. Your ethos is out the window. Just based on the appearance of impropriety of the way you handled yourself in court, like some kind of hopped up hyena who has no emotional control. You, as a district attorney, are held to a higher standard. You're supposed to emit confidence in your constituents. You're supposed to emit and convey equivocality, neutrality, disinterest, objective and impartial, fair posture. You did none of those things. There is no way in a million years you have instilled any confidence. You completely deflated it and ruined it. It's impossible. This brief is just such a desperate attempt by you, Fani Cash Money G. When are you going to give up? I want to hear from you guys. I'm going to throw this over to you guys in the comments. I can't wait to see what you think of this. This is the most desperate attempt right here to try instead of owning up. Look, you lied. Look, you were dishonest. Look, there is a definite conflict of interest. You've definitely made the appearance under Georgia law of massive impropriety. It's time to hold yourself accountable. It's time to answer, and answer honestly, and just recuse yourself and completely fess up to these charges, because you have zero credibility left. But I want to hear from you guys. I think most people by now would have been like, man, I'm done. I'm toast. I might as well. Instead, she pulls this crap off. Oh, it gets worse and worse. What do you guys think? I can't wait to hear what you guys think. As I said, I'll leave a complete link of this entire brief filed by Fani Willis, this desperate piece of paper filed by her and her team and her lawyers and attorneys. Maybe you find some things that maybe I missed, but I just had to talk about this because it's so symbolic of the corrosiveness of these people who are going after somebody, blaming somebody, doing the very thing that they are charging Donald Trump with. The hypocrisy is limitless. The hypocrisy is, it's boundless. It's infinite with these people. I've known these people my whole life. I've worked with these people my whole life. Rotten to the core. As always, I will try to answer every comment as best as I can. It is almost impossible to answer all of them. Super chats, super stickers, and members get first priority. If you want to become a member, consider doing so. All support goes back into the channel. If you made it this far, please consider subscribing to our free newsletter. That's in the pinned comment. In the pinned comment, also in the description and show notes. It's free. We just need your best email, and you'll never miss out on another new video, live update, breaking news that mainstream media won't show you. So I look forward to hearing from you. Check out these videos that I posted today. Check them out. They are awesome. If you missed them, subscribe and follow down there. Subscribe to the email list. And as always, God bless you, your family, and God bless America. I'll see you soon.